Tired of kissing friends at midnight every New Year's? Looking for that special someone to hold you in his arms? It's not too late. At Compatico, we're certain you're mostly compatible with hundreds of potential special someones at a reasonable price. Compatico, your relationship solution.
When the bells all ring and the horns all blow, and the couples we know are fondly kissing, will I be with you, or will I be among the missing? Maybe it's much too early in the game. Oh, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's Eve?
Meet cute? It's when two characters meet, IRL.
IRL? In real life?
Oh, so not on Tinder. No, not on Tinder. That may work for some people, but I want a story. A magical coincidence. Like Thelma Ritter said, when a man and a woman see each other and like each other, they ought to come together. Like a couple of taxis on Broadway. Not sit around analyzing each other like specimens in a bottle. Or on a phone. Oh, God, no.
It's a process of selection called falling in love. And it's not poetic fiction, IRL.
Seriously? You could just say in real life.
Okay, in real life, it is said it could happen that upon meeting each other for the first time, an inner voice can be heard saying, "This is the one." Hold on, let me explain. So a man sees a woman sitting across from him on the subway. She catches his eye wearing red lipstick and a red plaid button-down. She's far above his station in life. She leaves, and the thought of her doesn't linger soon after. But he holds on to that image subconscious. Fast forward to a few years later, he's at a party with a number of girls, but one girl is wearing red lipstick and a red button-down. He singles her out and feels drawn to her. Briefly, he is in love.
So you're saying that the shirt and the lipstick were the connection to love?
Yes and no. The shirt and the lipstick started a chain of associations and thoughts that closed the circuit of cells in his subconscious, on which the original image remained impressed.
Okay, so it's about being in the right place at the right time? Or at a Super Bowl party? My parents met at a Super Bowl party in Miami. My dad was a young lawyer with a brand new Cadillac Seville. My mom was this semi-hippie dancer from New York. He had just bought a house. She was moving to Paris for a year. He was talking about this hot tub that he was going to install on his back deck. My mom wanted nothing to do with Cadillacs or real estate or hot tubs for that matter. But he followed her. He followed her into John's kitchen at John's Super Bowl party, and he left with her number. My mom says he called the exact next day and asked her out to dinner. My dad remembers the exact time, location, and date of their meeting. My mom doesn't remember what they talked about, but she remembers his eyes. Deep, dark brown eyes. She always talks about his eyes.
My mom wasn't very fond of my dad either at first. She flew to Cancun on spring break. He was the car rental salesperson. He hailed our cab and got her number. Date didn't go so well. He showed up wearing a buttoned-up shirt, acid-wash jeans, and cowboy boots. My mom wanted to ask if there'd also be a horse out back. A couple of days later, she flew to Mexico City. He looked up her flight, showed up in the lobby with flowers, jumping up and down in excitement. felt so sorry for him, she went ahead and went on a date again. A week later, she went back to Florida, sold all of her belongings, and drove to Mexico. She arrived at the airport 8 hours early. She sat there in the lobby thinking, what if this guy doesn't show up? I'm gonna feel like a real idiot. Indeed. The art of love, like every other art, requires both patience and abandon. The fruits of love, like all other loves, like all fruits of love. If one dallies, more tempting. If one dallies, more tempting. If one dallies, before plucking them. Before plucking them. In other words, don't rush it. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose. After the 1,000 invitations you received. Oh, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing, New Year's? New Year's Eve. My dad had to propose to my mom 5 different times. In 1971, Kim and Dave met in 7th grade art class. He was the star of the class with a slick Beatles haircut. She was the daughter of the school's librarian. He crossed the room just to sit by her, and she wouldn't talk to him. Fast forward to 1978, it was Kim who made the first move, and that really got the ball rolling. After about a year of dating, my dad proposed for the first time in his grandmother's car by the lake. After a few months, seeing that Dave didn't seem to have a plan for marriage, Kim decided it was time to break off the engagement and go have some fun. So she packed a picnic, put on her laced-up white shorts, and took Dave on a breakup date. 6 months later, Kim and Dave found themselves together again. One day, after picking up some burgers in the local McDonald's drive-thru, Dave pulled his car over again. He looked around saying, I think I forgot something. He pulled out that huge rock again and said, I really want to marry you. She said yes, and this time it stuck.
Are you looking for a story? A magical coincidence? Well, honey, you're aiming for the moon. This is 2015. Get yourself together and try In a Minute Date to find that right guy right now. InAMinuteDate.com for all your instant dating needs.
They met in January. She moved to Paris in August. But they made it work. Visiting each other back and forth. Christmas in Paris. Summers in Miami. It wasn't love at first sight. There was no frill or flair. No gossamer tale of a match made in heaven. But their love is real. It's honest, and it's grounded, and it's true. showed up.
She said yes.
And it stuck.
So Thryn, you've got a date tonight, right?
Yeah. Where did you meet him? On Tinder. Where?
You're gonna have to speak up. Where?
It was on Tinder. It was on Tinder.
Oh.
You should find out like what's gonna happen with this. Like, does he want a relationship or a hookup?
Yeah,
Also,
like,
you
how are
should-
you gonna do your hair? Like, are you gonna do something in this area?
You should look like your photo though. You know, I've seen your photos.
Maybe like show
You're not
more
wearing much.
skin.
Yeah. You should probably just hook up with
We
him.
wanna
You
talk
know, you want to
about
realize like how it's gonna be.